everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I am a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. Today we are here for another episode of Personal Trainer Reacts to Beachbody coaches sharing their workouts. Today we're going to see some weird stuff. We're going to see some bad form. So grab your drink of choice and get comfortable. Before we proceed, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lulls along the way, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Without any further introductions, let's just get right into this damn video. What are you eating, Alpha? What is that? Open your mouth. Oh, you already swallowed it, huh? How many times a day do you pull stuff out of your dog's mouth? Here we go. So it looks like she's combining a pop squat with an upright dumbbell row. We've actually talked about upright rows before. Doing them wrong can cause something called shoulder impingement. It's basically just putting your shoulder in a really awkward position that can cause a lot of damage to the joint. And she is doing these upright rows really wrong. My problem with the... Do you mind? Alpha, what are you doing? Lay down, baby. She's just like sniffing around like there's bacon in the carpet. Anyway, my biggest problem with their upright rows is my usual biggest problem with these people performing upright rows. They're going way too high. You don't need to go that high when you're doing upright rows. Going too high is what causes the shoulder impingement. Next, her belly. It's getting in the way of her pulling path. She's going really fast, but if you look closely, she's kind of having to pull the weight around her belly to get it to the top of her. And then she's doing pop squats, which are not a bad exercise at all. I do pop squats quite often. I wish she was wearing shoes, but the pop squats with the upright row is just kind of, it's an unnecessary combination. I will now demonstrate for you an alternative exercise that is much safer. All right, so here I am in the gym, you guys. I actually decided to keep the pop squat because I really don't mind it that much. Instead of doing an upright row, I am doing a jab. I've got some super light weights in my hand. I think those are just 1-pounders. You can also hold no weights at all, and I'm trying hard to follow Ace's boxing instruction. All right, so this next person is another recurring character. Here we go. Okay, so she's doing something. I think the piece of equipment that she's using is that control track, which from the looks of it, you have to buy it with the 9-week Control Freak program, which, by the way, you can assemble yourself with some handled resistance bands. So as far as the exercise goes, it looks like she's combining an incline chest press with a decline chest press in one exercise. Neither of these are bad exercises. They're both excellent exercises to develop different parts of the pectoralis muscle. Incline chest presses target your upper pecs. Decline chest presses target your lower pecs. Do I have to tell you guys why this is dumb? You're combining two very complex exercises into one mega complex and stupid exercise. How about just separate these into 2 separate sets? Do 4 sets of incline press and then 4 sets of decline press. Like, why do you need to put them together? That's dumb. Alternating like that in between each one, that's taking away from your form. I will now demonstrate for you decline chest presses with the handled resistance bands. So I have my handled resistance band positioned low on the bar. I'm using the squat rack to secure it, and I'm pushing up and forward with my hands. Now to do the decline press, all you have to do is reposition the band higher on your on the surface you have it secured, so you don't need that silly control track. So this next person we're about to look at is a super trainer in Beachbody. She is an actual fitness professional, which in my opinion makes this exercise that much more horrifying. So that was only a short clip, but I saw enough. The caption is partially cut off, but before I edited it to crop out her name and stuff like that, it said she calls this exercise a hip hinge / goblet squat. This is hard to explain, but I'm gonna try my best. A hip hinge is not so much an exercise, but more a movement, if that makes sense. You may see a physical therapist doing hip hinges with a patient to help them increase their hip mobility and function. Now, when you're adding weight to a hip hinge, like what she is doing, it then becomes a Romanian deadlift, or RDL. The Romanian deadlift is what I would consider to be one of the signature bodybuilding exercises. It's excellent to develop the glute and hamstring complex. A hip hinge is a component of the Romanian deadlift. Then at the top there, she's doing a quick switch and shifting the weight and going into a goblet squat. A goblet squat is just one of the billions of squat variations out there. A goblet squat works mostly the same muscles as a standard squat, but what's different is how you're holding the weight. With the standard squat, the weight is on your back and you're having to do a little bit more work with your core to keep your body upright. A goblet squat like this puts a little more work on your abdominals, so you have to use your upper body a little bit more to keep your body upright. Despite this, it's actually a really good alternative for people who have difficulty carrying weight on their back, or people have lower back issues and they can't do a standard squat. With a goblet squat, you're not putting any stress on your back. I believe this exercise is part of the Control Freak program. I see someone messing up their back, among other things, big time when trying to perform this exercise. A beginner and inexperienced lifter should not be doing this exercise, period. I'll now demonstrate for you guys how to correctly execute a dumbbell goblet squat and a dumbbell Romanian deadlift.
So starting here with the goblet squat, I've got my feet slightly wider than hips width apart. I'm engaging my abdominals so that I keep my chest upright, and as soon as I rotate the camera, you can see the difference in how I'm holding the weight. Goblet squats are traditionally done with a dumbbell, holding it like so. And here now we have the Romanian deadlift. So you're gonna hip hinge by pushing your butt back out behind you without locking your knees out. Lower the weight to about the middle of your shins until you feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Then using your glutes and hamstrings, pull the weight back up and clench your glutes without locking out your knees.
So the next person we're gonna take a look at, I was actually DM'd her Instagram handle by someone who I occasionally talk to on Instagram. Now, this person who I was talking to said that she is a former Beachbody coach, and this person was actually her upline, and she sent me her Instagram information. I went to her former upline's page and found this train wreck of an exercise. So, my dear, if you're watching this, thank you very much for helping me find this video. So it looks like she's doing a single leg glute bridge with a static hold in an alternating dumbbell chest fly. A static hold means just how it sounds. It means you're holding the position instead of banging out reps. Why? Why are you doing all this? As always, there's always a risk of injury with exercising. I don't see anything like inherently dangerous about this, but this exercise is excessive. I tried it and it was hard, but not in the way you expect it to be hard. Like, because I was doing chest flies, I don't know if I have any footage of me trying it. If I do, I'll put it up here. You're doing chest flies, but because you're working so hard to push up into your bridge on one leg, I feel like I could barely feel the chest flies at all because I was putting so much focus on holding my hips up. And also, it's a glute bridge, but I felt like I couldn't really feel my glutes. You're just doing too much. I will now demonstrate an alternative that's not stupid.
Alright, so here is the alternative exercise I recommend. I decided to keep the glute bridge and I swapped out the dumbbell flies. To set up for the bridge, plant your feet as close to your butt as they will go. Press up through your heels and clench your butt at the top. And instead of doing chest flies, I'm doing a static hold with my arms straight up. This exercise will test your balance as well as your core strength as well. And if you feel a little bit more advanced, maybe you could hold some light dumbbells in your hand. Just be careful as always.
So this last exercise we're going to take a look at is actually the same person as before, but we're going to shift gears a little bit. I actually don't have much of a negative critique for this exercise. Once before, I featured a Beachbody coach who was doing exercises actually correctly, and I gave her some kudos for it. The reason being is because I want to give credit where it's due. You're still not a personal trainer though. It's a similar thing with this exercise, so let's look. This may surprise you guys, but I actually kind of like this exercise. I think it looks kind of fun. The key here is this is an exercise only I would attempt. I would not have a client, whether online or in person, attempt this exercise. As I always say, there's always a risk of injury with exercise. As a fitness professional, it's my job to instruct you on good form for safety and efficacy. There are, however, occasionally some exercises that I think seem kind of fun that I would try myself, but I would never have a client do. It's just because it's a little bit too complex and there's so much going on that it's hard to be able to give like good solid instruction for every single move. Oh, and by the way, I said I didn't have a critique for it, but I lied. I have a teeny tiny critique. Her elbows are too wide. That's it. There will be no demonstration for this exercise because I don't recommend you try it at home. Alright guys, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations. The sentiments here are the same as I express in all of these videos. Just because you buy the starter pack doesn't mean you're a coach. And just because you have a huge following doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. I say as my IG following grows steadily by the day. What I mean is credentials count, and Beachbody Coach is not a credential. Beachbody coaches, stop giving out terrible nutrition advice when you know nothing about nutrition. Stop sharing terrible workouts with bad form. And last but certainly not least, how about stop scamming people? This concludes my PSA. Thank you very much for watching. Please follow me on Instagram. I only have one Instagram account. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have Twitter. My only public platforms that I have are Instagram and this YouTube channel right here. So follow me on IG, like and subscribe here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go see what the dogs are up to.
Just FYI, you guys, this video was filmed like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the clips you're about to see of the dogs, them all being together, was before the fight that they got into this weekend that left Zeus really badly hurt. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, I mentioned it briefly. Onyx and Alpha got into it, and they both attacked Zeus pretty badly. He's okay, and he's doing much better, but just so you guys are aware, the clips you're about to see were recorded before that incident. I kind of want to go see what Zeus is doing. Is he on Neighborhood Watch? No, he's not on Neighborhood Watch. This boy. Hey. Oh, aren't you like super cute? Alpha, leave him alone. Hey, baby. Oh, you such a big, handsome boy. Onyx, do you mind? Zeus, can you say bye? Can you say bye? Say bye.